In-depth guide to my destroyer build, and I'm going to go into what I put my points into currently, as well as what you might do for the points coming up, as well as what points I switch around for each individual matchup. Now, starting with your left mouse button, we're starting with Judgment. I actually don't put any points into it just because the focus recovery you get isn't that important when you're just like dishing out skills, and standing there left auto attacking isn't gonna very much help you. Wrath, put 2 points in for the power slam as well as after fury. It's useful for the anti-cancel combo. This one I put 4 points into so you can successfully do the anti-cancel when you get the chance instead of going for the health. It's just better to have the extra damage on a knockdown. As for the grab, you can put in grab for longer, but I don't. With the amount of time that people just break your grab, it's not really useful. Knee is the most changed one. It's useful for a lot of different situations. Most of the time, you'll either be using the first 2 points against almost anything, and then the third one is the second most used with people that use defensive skills, and it's very obvious, such as the summoner, which uses their dandelion, as well as the KFM with their block, since they use it fairly frequently. You can use it against destroyer, but generally high level destroyers will just use the shield for the stun rather than the health gain. The middle one is only for, well, it's pretty much only for Force Masters, just so you can get rid of that nasty ice. On the note of Force Masters, your gap closers such as your Blitz and your Ram, most of the time you won't be able to use them, so generally you want to take points out of that and then allocate them elsewhere. For the next skills, you want to go Hurricane, so always use the parry. You could go to the middle if you're against a Warlock or a Force Master in the future, but for now just go these 2 points and you'll be fine. As for Gust, your Trinket, or whatever you want to call it, you always put 2 points at least, 1 for the daze. You can break from grapples if you're against a summoner, but generally you don't want to be in a position where you get grappled in the first place. You also can use it against a Kung Fu Master, but generally you really shouldn't be breaking their grapple in the first place. Secondly, the one that you can change is Blitz. As said before, you should take out all the points if you're against a Force Master. Against a Limb Blade Dancer or another destroyer, I like to go for the one that pulls in and dazes, just because it goes through their spin, which is fairly useful. And it also gets people that can go invisible, so it's semi-decent against summoners. It depends on how you are able to go in at the start of the arena match. Generally, if you want to go against Assassin or something of the like, Force Master or whatever, is generally having 1 point or 2 in this will help maintain your CC, just so you can get more damage out. Ram, it's fairly simple. You always put 1 just for the longer range of initiation. Sometimes you can put 3 points in for Kung Fu Master, just so while you're charging, you are immune to any CC or damaging effects, which can be useful if you are able to finagle it correctly. Ember Stomp, you don't really put it in. You used to for the defensive, but generally it's just not worth the time it wastes, as well as you kind of don't want to stand in place for a lot of matches, so you don't really make use of it. Axe Sweep, always putting, I usually put 1 point. It depends on what I'm against. Generally it's not 100% great against summoners, just because knocking down their cat can be kind of problematic with the damage and it can do from the cat. But against everyone else it's fairly useful because it prevents them from escaping from you too frequently or too fast, so you can catch up and continue your CC lock. Drag, generally you always want to go just 2 points. 3 points is kind of only for when you have the spare point. And then drag is usually useful against sometimes your Kung Fu Master if they're very defensive, and most of the time I will kind of use it in 3s or against summoners depending on the situation. Generally 2 points is just fine. Power Slam, you always have to go 3 points into the right side, so you have the cast time be from 0.8 to 0.3, which makes a lot of difference in being able to automatically rail them with damage afterwards. Smash, 3 points generally, it never changes, gives you the greatest damage, especially on people that are CC'd. Try and do this, try and get this out pretty much on cooldown. Generally it's best to use a CC such as your Stone Shield and then immediately follow it up with a smash, so for 1 it gets the extra damage when they're CC'd, and 2 so it's more guaranteed to hit. Using your Fury Stone Shield smash combo will get a lot of damage out in a very short amount of time. Stone Shield, 2 points generally always for the stun. I generally never touch this. If you have an extra point in the coming update, you can definitely put a 3rd point, but 1 second difference generally doesn't make too much in the 45. Typhoon, 1 point generally all the time. You can take it out in some matches, but for 3s you should always go the 3 points just because it's so versatile, especially for when you're swapping in and out. For other situations, if you're against the summoners, it's good to do 3 points in the middle. If you're against a Kung Fu Master and Assassin, sometimes it's good to go for the 3rd one, so it knocks back, as well as resists some of their CC. Now for Fury, it is a little interesting. I have been trying to play with it a little, so either 3 or 4 points. Generally when you get more points, you're going to put it all into 4 points anyway. You keep it the same Fury all the way down the left for almost every match except Assassin. Assassin is good to go down this route for the 5 resists of damaging effects and status effects. Generally it's good to prevent their Assassin combo from doing too much damage and being able to throw their shuriken at you, which allows them to teleport behind. You can also use your Searing Strike to dodge their kunai, as well as the backstep. Other than that, it's fairly muscle memory, being able to perform your animation cancel combos correctly on your opponents, as well as being able to know when you grab them and then use your power slam correctly, because if you automatically start wailing on them as soon as you power slam, most of the time they will counter you. So generally what you want to do is power slam and then being able to bait out their counter, then wait a couple seconds, CC, and then go in, because then it allows them to waste their counter as well as you being able to actually do the damage rather than stand there dazed or whatever from a counter. Other than that, it's pretty much simple. If you have any questions, please comment below, and if you want any more updates, I'll definitely do it after the extra points come in. Other than that, thank you, and I'll see you next time.